Fannie Cash Money G just can't be stopped. I have an exclusive for you. Check this out. New report claiming that Cash Money G Willis wants this trial to start as soon as this summer. A brand new exclusive, and I've corroborated this with other sources as well, but it did get broken by CNN, which I know we're not all fans of CNN, but it actually is corroborated. Fani Willis, the embattled Fulton County District Attorney, plans to press ahead with her goal of putting Donald Trump on trial before the November election. You guys remember we were talking about this in previous live streams. I've got a ton of videos on everything you need to know about the Fani Willis case if you're kind of new to this or this is just showing up on your feed. That even legal experts, myself included, that, you know, the whole point of moving forward with this trial, the whole point of even going after Trump, which is completely just a moot cause. Same thing with Letitia Shane James, that this is all about election interference in 2024. She's claiming, no, it's all about the people. I'm for the people. These are the people on trial. I'm not on trial. They're on trial. And I'm trying to stop him. They're trying to steal an election. Well, no, Fannie Cash Money G and Letitia Big Shame James. You guys are interfering with the 2024 election. You're trying to bankrupt him on zero grounds. You're trying to go after him even after all the egregiousness that you committed, the felony perjury under oath, the lies about the financial conflict of interest, the lies about the text messages, the lies about the relationship. There's so many lies it's almost impossible to encapsulate. You're the one that's trying to interfere with this election. So why the steadfastness, Cash Money G Willis? So she intends to ask the judge presiding over the Georgia criminal case to schedule a trial date as soon as this summer, according to 3 people familiar with her thinking. It's a bold move considering the hurdles Willis faces in getting the case back on track after a 2-month detour revealed embarrassing details of her personal life, damaging her credibility in the eyes of Judge Scott McAfee and leaving her politically vulnerable ahead of her own re-election bid in November. I mean, you can say that again. You can say that twice. The article goes on to say that Georgia Republicans continue to investigate allegations that Willis benefited financially from her relationship with Wade. This is the state committee that I did an entire video on. We went live when Ashley Merchant was subpoenaed under oath by Bill Cowsert, the chair of this committee, who's a Republican. I love his accent. I've talked about that many times. The state committee could use its subpoena power. This could be really, really big. To unearth new information and plans to meet several more times to hear from additional witnesses. That's actually huge and something that I've been talking about for a very, very long time. If you've been with this channel for a while, you know I've been mentioning this in previous videos. There's a good chance that Senator Cowsert, again, he's the chair of this Senate committee, who's essentially, just a really quick recap on that, he doesn't have any constitutional right to interfere with the disqualification hearing and disqualify Fani Willis directly through that case with Judge McAfee, but they can go after all of the taxpayer fraud, financial conflict of interest, infractions and violations that Fani and Nathan Wade have committed. So they subpoenaed Ashley Merchant, who, God praise her, God bless her. She actually told the truth. And she went into even more detail that she couldn't give. If you haven't seen that video, it's on my channel. She went into more detail and more depth to all of the egregiousness of Cash Money G Willis and her lover boy, Nathan Philandering Wade. Also, this is good too, and I talked about this, Republican Governor Brian Kemp last week signed changes into law that give a state commission the power to investigate Willis and authority to remove or sanction state prosecutors. So Fani's problems are far from over. And I truly will, I'll have something to say after we talk about it, because stick around. I'm going to tell you exactly why Fannie Cash Money G is trying to get this to trial so quickly. And I mean, as soon as this summer. That's insane because we still have a certificate of review. We got so much. The Pitbull Sadow has responded. I'm going to stick around. Let's just get through this. Willis's rock solid political standing, I don't know where that came from. This is CNN, so has also been shaken. This month, Democrat Christian Wise Smith. Yep, so we got which I don't know how serious Christian Wise Smith is. He's a former Fulton County prosecutor, Atlanta solicitor. I do think that Courtney Kramer, who we're planning to have on the show, Courtney Kramer, who is the Republican counterpart, and she is running against Fani Willis in this May's election, this primary. This is also really, really interesting. There's the Supreme Court's decision on whether former president enjoys absolute immunity from special counsel Jack Smith. So this is the subversion charges that basically, Jack Smith going after Trump, which again just seems like another political witch hunt. But this is really interesting because this could affect everything. This could not only affect Letitia James, this could not only affect Jack Smith, but it could also affect this case with Fannie Cash Money G. Willis. Because as this states, any ruling in favor could be a major blow to both criminal cases, okay, and in related to the 2020 election, including Georgia. So hearings for those begin in April. We're going to cover that, so make sure you subscribe and follow. Sources close to the Fulton County DA say the uncertainty of the federal case does not prevent McAfee from setting a trial date. Fulton County prosecutors say in a recent email to defense attorneys they plan to respond to Trump immunity claim within 2 weeks of the Supreme Court's decision, according to a source familiar with the correspondence. So prosecutors believe McAfee can put the immunity issue to the side until the Supreme Court rules, while in the interim ensuring the Georgia case is as close to ready as possible if the justices decide Trump can be prosecuted. Multiple sources have confirmed. Let's get a trial date. Let's get a trial date. Come on, we got to get this thing to trial. So multiple sources close to Willis acknowledge the last 2 months have been a major distraction. One, you could say that 7 more times. One, they admit brought on by her own actions, but also enabled, they argue, by how much leeway McAfee gave. Wait. Leeway McAfee gave to defense attorneys? How about the leeway McAfee gave to Cash Money G. Willis, who stormed into court, made all these demands, called Ashley Merchant a liar, and acted a fool? Basically, it's a 2-month sideshow that the judge should not have even let happen. I mean, but it's over, and the judge finally came to the right decision, and so we're back to where we never should have left, which is these people were underfunded. I wonder if that's Harold Jones saying that. Sources close to Willis say that the DA's office is effectively ready to go to trial. Yeah, of course they are. Willis has said she needs only 30 days to prepare because she's the worst prepared district attorney, DEI hire of all time. That's why she only needs 30 days. She probably only needs 30 minutes, as unprepared as she is. Remember all the wrong dates she submitted, all the wrong emotions and the wrong responses, and just the absolute travesty of her entire case. It's just a complete disaster. It's shambles. Willis had previously asked for a trial date to start in August. She plans to re-up the request now. I mean, this is insane. She plans to re-up the request now that she has survived the chaotic 2 months that she herself created. The chaos that she sowed, which saw the Fulton counties face disqualification and threatened to derail the entire case. Well, then why did you lie? It's unclear exactly when Willis will make her second request of McAtee to start the trial. The Fultie's office has declined to comment. Check out what Ashley Merchant says. This is really cool. Ashley Merchant was asked on Wednesday night if the defense was trying to delay the trial. And she said, quote, "I would very much like to go to trial." adding that the defense has a right for a fair and impartial prosecutor to evaluate the case. That didn't happen in this case. 100% accurate. She's 100% right there. There is no fair and impartiality when you make a speech at a church. There is no fair and impartiality when you lie under oath. There is no fair and impartiality when you have financial conflict of interest, hiring an underqualified DA and then making him take you on vacation and benefiting financially from the taxpayers' cash money. Gee Willis, you should just be a rapper and call it a day. You'd make a lot more money being a rapper and probably get in a lot less trouble. As a matter of fact, being a rapper in our country in 2024, the more violations and the more problems with the law, the better your record sales. Willis and her team are aware of the political damage caused by the last 2 months, but argue that their job is to prosecute the facts. No, it's not. Here we go. DeKalb County District Attorney Robert James. There was definitely damage done. Duh. Everybody write duh in the comments right now. Duh. Who watches the case closely, that even if Willis can get the case to trial before November's election, picking a jury alone could take months, especially with so many defendants involved. Duh. Ultimately, some of the prospective jurors that watched those hearings, no-ish, James, really, have formed negative opinions of the DA and the case. It was always going to be difficult to get a fair and impartial jury because you've got a guy like Donald Trump. I don't know anybody who has a fair and impartial, unbiased opinion of him. You're either this way or that way. The hearing on the motion to disqualify just made it more difficult. One source said that Willis and her team realized the damage inflicted could diminish the public's perception of the Georgia case. You think? Add another duh. God, these guys are geniuses. These are the kind of people you want representing the people of Georgia, right? But that person also betrayed a sense of anger over the spectacle that was made of the televised hearings. The spectacle made by Fani Willis. You have people covering this, frankly, like it was sports or politics. It deals with political activity, but there's not an election going on in court. There are elections going on, but not in court. Genius. You're a genius. You should be fired immediately. What a numbskull. What a lunkhead. Judge rolling up his sleeves. Since his disqualification ruling, McAfee has indicated he is ready to continue moving forward with sources familiar, saying he has asked attorneys on both sides about how to proceed with pretrial motions. Oh, I can't wait for that. We're going to go live. Recent communications from McAfee include questions about which motions need oral argument and what needs more briefing before he can rule on them. Oh, this is awesome. One source said he's rolling up his sleeves. Oh, Mr. McAfee, Mr. Pussycat McAfee says he's ready to do business. Now, after a month of being a pussycat? That's not to discount the fallout from last week's 23-page opinion, which was absolutely abominable. McAfee wrote that Willis's comments in the church, another duh in the comments. He also warned of the potential for a future gag order against Willis. Oh, I love that. Gagger! But said her church comments were far enough removed from a jury trial that it would not establish a permanent taint of the jury pool, which is highly suspect. Legal analyst Michael Moore, who nobody cares about, but a lot of legal analysts agree with this, questions whether Willis should even remain on the case and says if she does, she will need to show McAfee and the public that she is in complete control. Oh, she has no problem doing that. There's no question that the progress of the case has been impeded by unnecessary speed bumps and detours. She simply cannot afford another unforced error that results in additional unfavorable comments questioning her candor or judgment. You think? Boy, these are geniuses, aren't they? Then you wonder why nobody likes mainstream media. Nobody trusts mainstream media. These sound like a bunch of DEI hired analysts. Of course they work for CNN. Holy macadamia. What a bunch of numbskulls. Okay, if you made it this far, I told you that I was going to tell you what's really, really happening here. My opinion and why, Fani Cash Money G. Willis is trying to get this to trial. Obviously, she wants to interfere with the 2024 election. She wants to derail President Trump. You guys are smart, Nez Nation. You know this. I think she also knows she's probably going to get disqualified or she's probably going to recuse herself, but she's not going to do that. Here's my bold prediction. She's not going to recuse herself. She's not going to disqualify herself. And it's, by the way, it's not going to be her decision. It's going to basically essentially be the Obama consortium who controls everything, who controls Biden, who controls the narrative, who controls all the policies that's happening in this current administration. She's not going to do that until they set a trial date. Once there is a trial date set, once she has supplanted the fact that this is going to interfere with the 2024 election, it's going to derail any chance that President Trump can focus on what needs to be focused on, which is taking our country back, getting our country back. Once she sets that trial date, once she gets everything, all her ducks lined in a row, then that's when Obama's going to come in and be like, all right, girl, you did your job. It's time to go. We need to find somebody else because it's already been an absolute ish show. And we need a new face. And that's going to happen. It's probably going to be a DEI. It's probably going to be somebody who's black because that's all they care about. They make everything about race. But that's what's going to happen because they know that if they get a white attorney, they're not going to, because these guys, they know that the jury is probably going to be 90% African-American or black. And so they have to get somebody just who's respectable and who's just not ghetto like Cash Money G walking into court, storming in, acting a fool. Now, I was going to say this, the Pitbull Sadow. So Sadow, who we all love, everybody's adopted my name for him too, the Pitbull. I love it. All these other channels are calling him the Pitbull. Even Twitter, X, and major networks are calling him this the Pitbull. He filed the certificate of review. I did a whole live stream on that, a whole video on that. The judge granted the certificate of immediate review. And so this is actually really, really interesting because the disqualification of Fani Cash Money G. Willis is still on the table because now this disqualification is going to be seen, or at least it's going to be reviewed by a higher court. That higher court can now decide. They have, I think, 45 days to do this. That higher court can now decide and maybe even reopen the trial, maybe even reopen the hearing, reopen testimony, allow new evidence in order to decide if McAfee's original decision was the correct one or make a new decision. So that is something that's really cooking. Then you got Cousert, like I said, you got Bill Cousert, the Senate committee. They could go after Fani. Bill Kemp's, the Governor Kemp's new law that he enacted. There's so many hurdles here. There's so much that is going to happen within the next 30 to 60 to 90 days that there's really only one place you got to be, Nez Nation, and that's right here. So I want to throw this off to you. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow in the pinned comment. Become a Nez Nation Insider. It's our free newsletter. It's free. It's free. Free. I love free stuff. All you got to do is give us your best email, and then guess what? You're always going to be in the know. But I want to throw this off to you. What do you guys think of Cash Money G. Willis? I mean, I truly believe, I said that Obama's going to try to make her get out, once the trial date is set. But I also think she is like that pest. She is like that monkey in the wrench, the fly in the ointment. You just can't get rid of her. I think that even if she, let's just say hypothetically, I think even if she was literally behind bars, they put her in handcuffs, they actually did the right thing and put her behind bars, she would still somehow find a way to try this case via Zoom through the jail bars. She won't give up. She's a cockroach. I mean, an atomic bomb can't get rid of this woman, just like it can't get rid of she is so persistent. She is so blinded by the truth, blinded by everything, blinded by her own narcissism, that she just can't be stopped. I want to hear what you guys think. What do you guys think is going to happen? Do you think my prediction is believable? Is perhaps going to happen? Not happen? I would love to hear from you. As always, I try to answer and respond to all the comments, but it's literally impossible. Oh, and really quickly too, scammers. There's a lot of scammers that are impersonating me and using my profile picture. Do not respond to them. If you don't see that check mark next to my name, which is my verified, that's me, Professor Nez. But there's so many scammers out there. So if you don't see that check mark next to my name, it is not me. I will never solicit you on Telegram or whatever, or say text this to win a cash prize. That's not me. That is not me. All official communications will be either through our community tab, where you'll see my check mark. Okay, they can't use the community tab, or through our newsletter. I will never, ever solicit you and say, hey, you can win a prize. Just text this number. No, none of that stuff. So please don't fall for that, okay? Hey, before you go, check out these videos right here that I just posted very, very recently. I also, you know what, as a matter of fact, I will down there, I'll put a video that gives you a little more recap of what's been happening recently with the Pitbull, the certificate of review, Judge McAfee, Cash Money G. Check that out as always. Nez Nation, God bless you, God bless your families, and God bless America. I'll see you soon.